This is Sarah.
This is Paul.
This is Michael.
This is Jorge.
And you are listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast land. You are listening to another interview here at the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. That is Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, like Houdini, but Loudini, since my name is Lou Lombardi. My name is Lou Lombardi, a.k.a. Loudini. You can go to LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com to catch up on everything we have going on. We're doing a couple of interviews a week. We will be resuming the music podcast very shortly if it hasn't already been resumed. We do these several weeks in advance. Today I have this very awesome band on the line. I got the whole band of Vexine, and we're going to be talking to those guys here in a second. Before we get started, I'd like to thank my sponsor, my long-time and long-suffering sponsor, Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine, pplmag.com. It's Pittsburgh's first internet radio, TV network, online community magazine, and business directory. You can listen to and watch and download, receive emails and with the latest audio and video created by the members of the community. You can get articles, get coupons, you can find businesses, you can even start your own magazine page and blog and podcast. You can do all kind of fun stuff there. There's great podcasts there and great video channels there. Podcasts like this one, like the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. So it's a great place to go if you're looking for some deals, if you're looking for some great information, if you want to expand your mind and learn new stuff. It is definitely awesome place to go check out what's happening. That is Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine, pplmag.com. Now, the band that I've got on the line today is called Vexine, and they describe their sound as sexy, soulful, edgy rock. Vexine has been thrilling audiences with their unique sound since 2012. Their much-anticipated live CD was released in February of 2014 on Zap Records. The CD was recorded live at Rutledge live at the Rutledge in Nashville, Tennessee in the May 2013. It features Sarah Gleason's explosive vocals, Paul Pierce's high-octane guitar solos, and tight, steady rhythms from Jorge and Michael that will make your heart rate rise. Okay, that's a whole mouthful there. But these guys are a very cool band. They've got a really unique sound, soulful, edgy, sexy. How could you go wrong with that? Everybody, welcome Vexine to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, let's go around the room, and we'll start with Paul, and just go around, and you guys just say your names and who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm Paul Pierce, and I'm the guitar player, and do a lot of writing with this band and do a little bit of singing.
Next,
yes,
anybody?
Hi, I'm Jorge Santa Maria, and I basically keep the backbeat. I'm the drummer and manager of the band as well.
Next.
I'm Sarah Gleason, and I am the chanteuse. I am the singer, and I also write with Paul, and I do I go where they tell me to go.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
And I am Michael Skiffington, the bass player and all-around nice guy.
Yeah,
That's right.
True.
All around nice guy. Oh, that's no fun. Okay.
You can't imagine how fun that is.
Oh, okay. So, guys, somebody jump in here and tell me how this, and if you guys want to go back and forth, because everybody has a little different perspective, but tell us how the band got together.
So I'll jump in here. This is Jorge. Back in 2012, we were part of a band called the Velvet Marias. It's kind of an alt-country band, and there were 5 of us. And we realized that, we were moving in a little bit of different direction from alt-country, and Paul and Sarah were writing some things that really didn't fit quite into that genre. And so the 4 of us decided to kind of take a different direction, and so Vexine was kind of born out of that, and we worked for about 6 months to kind of put together, our initial set list and some of our initial originals, and we've been going at it since then. So that's kind of how we came together.
Okay, cool. Tell us a little bit. Somebody jump in and tell us a little bit about your influences. I know what I hear when I hear you guys, but go ahead and tell us a little bit about some of the music that you guys like and feel inspired, and feel like inspires you.
Well,
yeah, basically. Go ahead, Paul.
Go ahead, Sarah.
I was going to say, we collectively call it anything old school. Jazz, country, funk. Jorge brings the funk. But I love stuff from the 40s and 50s and lounge music, and Paul is big into hard rock from the 70s and punk and that kind of thing. So somewhere together that all gels into the Vexine sound.
Yeah, I was going to just say basically the same thing. We say everything old school because we don't do any sampling. We do everything live. And the sounds that we go for are basically the ones that you hear when you listen to an old Nina Simone recording of her voice, or you listen to pretty much any rock and roll song that was recorded in the early 70s in terms of the guitar. And the basic combination of all those things filters up through. And so you'll hear a lot of different sort of textures in our music.
Now, you said, Paul, that you do some writing. Sarah, do you guys write independently, or how do you guys put it all together?
You want to take this, Paul?
It's both of us. We do stuff separate and bring it in, and then we'll get together like on an intentional basis and just work on stuff. And it usually produces one or two songs at a time when we do that.
Sometimes I'll hum something into my phone and say, Paul, you got to hear this, or Paul will come up with a guitar riff and say, man, do you have any lyrics for this, or I've got an idea for this, and it just kind of forms from there. And we'll try anything once. We don't shoot down any ideas off the bat. But we will play some things, and if they gel and if they sound right, we know it very quickly, very early on, within 5 minutes, I would say. We know if we're going to stick with something or just kind of put it on the shelf. And some of our best tunes have come out of these 5-minute explosions of wonderment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a good example is our song Creep Into You. I brought it in as a blues song with sort of half-baked lyrics. I didn't really know what I wanted to say in it. And so we started kind of grooving on that feel that I brought in with it. Sarah went off and wrote these great lyrics, and then jamming as the band, we completely rewrote the song, and it turned into this sort of epic thing. So that's what we really like to see happen, when it starts off kind of elemental and then it kind of takes on a life of its own. And we've been actually on a tear with that lately. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. We've been vaccinated.
Sarah, do you typically, feel more comfortable, or I don't know how to say more, do you typically want to, take the lyrics that maybe Paul brings and maybe kind of change them to better fit you, or are you comfortable just singing other people's lyrics, or do you prefer to write lyrics for yourself?
Generally speaking, there's only been a few times in the last few years that, on our new record, Catherine's song, Paul wrote, and I sing the lyrics too, but otherwise, Paul writes his own lyrics if he's going to sing it, and I write my own lyrics if I'm going to sing it. And that has to do a lot with phrasing. Paul and our phrasing is completely different. And if Paul writes something he thinks will work for me, and then I start singing it, he's like, yeah, no, I'll just sing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they will, Hornet's Nest on the record is a good example where we both brought lyrics to the table, and it just worked out to combine them.
Yeah, it worked out real well.
So you brought in this story, and then, I created the turnaround and the hook for it together with you. It kind of worked that way.
Yep.
So you guys are a band with two lead singers then?
Yeah, but I'm definitely a part-timer.
So Sarah, you're the sort of main person, but Paul will come in and sing a few songs as well. That makes you guys a little unique. There aren't a lot of bands that, I mean, typically you think of, well, there's the front person and they're supposed to do all the singing, and, so I mean, that's like kind of like a Fleetwood Mac sort of situation. There's a few other bands that did that. I mean, is that something, I mean, how do you guys feel that's working out for you?
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, it's part of a survival skill. You got to realize when we go out and we go gigging, we'll play like 3.5 to 4 hours straight.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And like Sarah, like here's the set list, and it's 25 songs, and we have 3 of them, and so it's a survival skill because Sarah needs to go off and sip her whiskey for a few minutes because she's got another hour and a half to go. So my thinking is really just to sing the songs that the phrasing's too weird for her, and literally to give her a break.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize you guys. I was going to ask you guys about your live show. Let's get into that in a little bit. But what I want to do first is I want to play the song. Now, "Empty Hole" is that on your latest record?
Yes, that's on our new record called "Little Sin." Just came out on April 30th on Zap Records, and we've got it at iTunes and CD Baby and all that good stuff. So let's take a little break right now, and we'll play "Empty Hole," and then we'll come back and we'll talk about "Little Sin." All right. Great.
All right. Here is everyone. Here is "Empty Hole" from Vexine, from their latest record, "Little Sin," on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
On the ragged and the corners of wall, disconnected from the life under which I was born. Plastic finger on the pious say, pointed clearly down the road, showing me to my fate. What am I gonna find? I really just don't know. It's a treasure that I search for, just an empty hole, just an empty hole, just an empty hole. Shoulders aching after heavy hits. Say keep calm and carry on, and we'll get over it. I broke up all the chairs, made a big old fire. My remaining sense of care has officially expired. What are you trying to tell me? Let me down real slow. It's a treasure that I search for, just an empty hole, just an empty hole, just an empty hole. Thank you for the introduction. It's nice to find me. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Why don't you take a seat? Why don't you take a seat? Supposed to do after so many years. So not sure I can take it, this shit ain't no fun. Guess I'll pack my bags again and start to walk to the sun. What am I gonna find? I really just don't know. It's a treasure that I search for, just an empty hole, just an empty hole, just an empty hole. Na 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 na.
All right, that was a great tune, "Empty Hole." Guys, tell us about, Sarah, why don't you tell us about the song "Empty Hole"?
"Empty Hole" is a song I wrote about, life, really. You expect one thing, you're told, if you do all the right things and you reach for that carrot that's dangling in front of you, that you're going to get what you want. And sometimes you do everything you're supposed to, and you don't get anything. The treasure you search for is an empty hole, as I say in the song. It's about facing disappointment and carrying on anyway.
And was this a collaboration between you and Paul, or was this something like?
The lyrics.
I brought a rhythm and a guitar part, and Sarah just went with it.
No, cool.
Yeah. So
we haven't talked to Michael and Jorge a little bit, because you guys are Michael and Jorge are holding this down. They're holding the groove down. How do you guys like working with these two prima donnas? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They're monopolizing the whole interview. So why don't you guys just
So I wanted to add a couple of things. Previously we were talking about how some of this magic sort of happens between the two of them, and they collaborate and they bring the words and the lyrics and the music to us. And then I think some of the real magic that happens is when Mike and I get to collaborate on the back rhythms. And Tell Me is an example of that, where the song came to us, but we were struggling with how to get that particular song going. And Mike and I collaborated on a little bit of a drums and bass thing, and if you listen to that particular song, it starts out with a bass, and it's a really, really nice groove. And that's the fun part for Mike and I think, is then the recording process and the arrangement process is we get to sort of sprinkle some really nice things into the song that sort of bring it to life. I'll turn it over to Mike and see if he agrees with that or not.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Well, of course I agree with my rhythm section brother. That's what makes the magic happen. And Tell Me was a good song to come up with. I mean, the intro is sort of my homage to Larry Graham, who is one of my musical heroes. And it was just one of those things where it just clicked and fit in with with everything else that Sarah and Paul brought to the table. So it was those moments are fun.
Have you and Jorge played as a rhythm section in other bands, or maybe the previous band that you had, or?
Yeah, we were the rhythm section in the Velvet Marias as well. So we've been playing together for going on 8 years now.
Yeah, and you find that like helps to like solidify, like you guys are kind of know what each other's going to do. Do you have that sort of communication?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that it's been cultivated over those 8 years. We listen to one another. I come back. I come from I was raised in New Orleans. I come from a very Dixieland melded with Latin rhythms kind of a background, and that's what I hear in my head. And so I tend to be a little more active than I need to be sometimes, and just listening to Mike helps me to really find that groove. And when I do that, it can turn into some really nice magic. I know we have a song on our first record, El Rancho Motel, and that one starts with drums and bass as well. And I got to tell you, that was one of our biggest magical moments, I think, in the studio when we recorded that, and we recorded it on the first take. And that was kind of a collaboration up front in the song with Mike and I, and then Sarah and Paul doing what they do so extremely well.
See what happens when you listen to me?
So guys, Sarah, why don't you tell us? We've touched on it a little bit. Paul was talking about it. Tell us, what is the live Vexine experience?
Oh, we are full of energy. We've got quite a stage show, and I don't mean lights and smoke and light shows and that kind of thing, but we all dress for the show. The guys wear hats, and they wear suits, or not suits but vests, and they look sharp. And I'm always kind of I guess you can call it old Hollywood pinup kind of a style. we respect the music. We dress for it, and we want to give and we want. I saw a movie once where they said that you hear what you see. I think it was the Bobby Darin story, the Bobby Minton story. I don't know, but it said that you hear what you see, and it's absolutely true. If there's nothing to look at while you're out in the audience, you might as well just be listening to the radio. But if there's a stage show, it's a lot more fun, and it's very high energy. The guys are up there moving and grooving all over the place. Jorge's back there with a smile on his face, and I'm, throwing skirts and hair around, and it's a lot of fun. And the music and the look, they really gel together and create an experience for the audience member. I think anyway.
Maybe Paul could talk about this for a second, because you talked about it earlier. You were saying that you guys do 3 to 4 hour shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you playing all your original music, or are you doing remakes of other songs? Or that's a lot of material.
Yeah, we use.
That's just Springsteen. We got that every night.
Yeah, well, we don't have that many records recorded yet. But no, we pick a collection of songs to cover that are consistent with what we write. And Mike is actually our quality control in that area. He knows how to find the appropriate song to plug together, and if it comes together in rehearsal, and it's added. And we actually have a lot of songs on a fourth set that are the old ones that we sometimes pull out, but we have a huge library. So
yeah,
good.
We have about 200 songs now that are just hanging around, that are covers, and as far as originals, we're up to probably about 30 or 40, I guess, originals. So we mix those in together in the live show.
Sarah, you start, and then I'll ask Paul, I'll ask Michael, and we'll ask Jorge. Sarah, what is your favorite song to perform live?
Oh my gosh.
It can be somebody else's song. It doesn't have to be yours if you don't, whatever comes to your mind.
No one's ever asked me that. Actually, I really love to do our new cover. It's on our record, "I Want You." It's a Elvis Costello song, and it's very dark and delicious. And I really get into it while I'm singing it, which is a lot of fun.
Paul?
Mine is "Tell Me." That's my favorite one to play on the record. It just takes flight. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
As a guitar player, it's one I really can dig into, and I enjoy it quite a bit.
Michael?
I would probably have to go with "Caught Up in the Tears" off the new record. That's another one that's just got a lot of high energy to it. Great riffs at the beginning, and just grabs you and kicks you in the butt.
All right, Jorge.
Well, it's interesting. We actually had a little bit of a discussion about this at a rehearsal probably about a month ago, and we were all landing on the same song except for Sarah. She was kind of the one outlier, and we kept saying that "Tell Me" was it, and "Tell Me" was it, and when the record came out, and I started to listen to the record, not necessarily listening to the quality of the performance or the quality of the recording, but just listening to it passively. "Empty Hole" really comes out for me, and it wasn't my favorite, and it's between "Empty Hole" and "Tell Me," but right now, right at this moment, "Empty Hole" is my favorite one to play right now.
So you've got the new record is out, Little Sin. You guys just did a CD release where you got to have your own beer.
Yeah.
Paul is telling us about that. The first thing he started talking about when he called in.
Yeah.
So you guys have this new record. Let's talk a little bit about. Tell me a little bit about, because we're running short on time here. Tell me a little bit about the record and then tell everybody how they can get it.
Paul?
Okay. Well, like you said, it's on Zap Records, and it's It's on iTunes, Spotify, a lot of the streaming services. You can order it direct from CD Baby. Or my favorite way to sell records is when people come to our show. You can just get them from us. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The record was in production for a couple of years because we do 3 or 4 songs, go record them, and go out and gig and write some more, and then do another set of 3, and then so yeah, some of these songs we're really quite familiar with in terms of them not really being new to us anymore. So we're really looking forward to really supporting this record and then starting on the next one because that's something we have a lot of pent up material to go through. So.
Are you writing all? You guys are probably writing constantly coming up with ideas, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Sarah. We are constantly writing all the time, and now that we've got the other record signed, sealed, and delivered, we feel like the tap is open again, and this things are just starting to happen again, and so we can't wait to record those as well.
Cool. So we can be maybe expecting another record from you guys maybe in 2017. Maybe.
Oh, I don't know about that, but we'll see what happens.
That's fucking crazy now.
We need time to recover.
Yeah, we still got stuff to do on this record. We want to do some video, and we want to, do some touring around instead of in our usual homes. Break it out a little bit.
Are you now in the next 6-12 months or so? Are you guys playing? You play mostly around Richmond area, or do you tour?
Well, for the past, we've been mostly Central Virginia.
Okay.
A little bit in D.C., but we feel like this record is really opening up some things for us. So we're hoping we can go up the East Coast at some point this year.
Nice. So tell everyone at home then how, Sarah, why don't you tell everybody at home how they can follow you guys and keep up with what's going on with Vexine?
Oh, definitely. We'd love for you guys to find us on Facebook, Facebook/Vexine. Also, Vexine.com is our web address. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at VexineRVA. So we post a lot of goofy, fun stuff. So it's kind of fun to see what's going on with the guys. So, and me.
All right.
Yeah.
That is, for those of you out there listening, that is Vexine.com is the website, and then you can just find them on Facebook and all the other great places as well. Hey, guys, you got a minute to take a bonus question?
Cool.
We do. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Hang on. We're gonna close out the podcast, and then we'll take a bonus question. Guys, thanks a lot for hanging out. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
Hey guys, you've been listening to the band Vexine here. We had a good time, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Again, their website is Vexine.com. They've got a great new record that is out and available on iTunes and all those amazing places called Little Sin. It's really killer. You really guys are going to really dig this band, so you definitely want to check them out. Vexine.com. One more shout out to my sponsor, Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine. That is pplmag.com. And you have been listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. That is Loudini, rockandrollcircus.com. To check everything out, all the great interviews and music podcasts that we do. Also, if you love this kind of music, you're passionate about independent artists like Vexine, like a lot of bands we've been interviewing, please go to supportindierock.com where you can get involved in the promotion and the sort of getting the word out about these amazing acts. Guys, you have been listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. That is LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. Guys, thanks so much for listening, and we will see you on the next podcast.